A 25-year-old shows up in Omaha with $174,000 in his pocket. 6 years later, he's a millionaire. This isn't some crypto bro. This is 1956, and the kid just got fired because his boss retired. Welcome to how Warren Buffett went from nothing to stupid rich. Warren Buffett was born in August 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska. His dad was a stockbroker. At 6 years old, this kid bought 6 packs of Coca-Cola and sold individual bottles to his family at a markup. 6 years old! Picture this tiny child running profit margin analysis on soda sales. At 11, in 1941, Warren made his first stock purchase. He bought 3 shares of City Service Preferred at $38 each. The stock immediately tanked to $27. His sister started freaking out. Warren held on, sold at $40 for a small profit, then watched it rocket to nearly $200. Most kids would have bought a bike. Warren learned he sold too early, and this ate at him forever. By 14, he took $1,200 he'd saved and bought a 40-acre farm. At 15, he was making $175 a month delivering newspapers, more than some adults earned. In high school, he and a buddy bought a used pinball machine for $25, stuck it in a barbershop, split profits with the owner. Within months, they had machines in 3 locations. They sold the operation for $1,200. Buffett was 17, running a multi-location vending empire. Buffett didn't want college. He wanted to keep making money. His father pressured him, so at 16 he enrolled at Wharton. He hated it. After 2 years, he transferred to Nebraska and finished in 3 years total by 1950. By graduation at 19, he'd saved $9,800, about $130,000 today, from paper routes and pinball machines. He applied to Harvard Business School. They rejected him. Instead, he went to Columbia in 1950 because Benjamin Graham taught there. Graham wrote The Intelligent Investor, and Buffett was obsessed. He graduated in 1951 with a master's at 20 years old. He wanted to work for Graham, offered to work for free. Graham said no. Then in 1951, Buffett discovered Graham was on Geico's board. So this 21-year-old takes a train to Washington on a Saturday, shows up at Geico headquarters, and starts knocking until a janitor lets him in. Inside, he meets the vice president and they talk insurance for hours. Imagine being so intense about insurance that a VP wants to be your friend. Buffett kept working at his dad's firm until 1954, when Graham finally offered him a job. His starting salary was $12,000 a year. For 2 years, he worked under Graham. Then in 1956, Graham retired. Buffett was 25, unemployed, and had somehow saved $174,000 from his salary and investments. That's over $2 million today, from a $12,000 job. He lived like a monk and invested everything. So, in May 1956, Buffett starts Buffett Associates Ltd. He puts in $100 of his own money. His family and friends put in $105,000. He didn't charge a management fee, which was unheard of. Instead, he took 25% of profits above 6% returns, and he'd personally cover 25% of losses. If they didn't make money, neither did he. The returns were absurd. In 1957, the market dropped and Buffett returned 10.4%. In 1958, the market was up 38% and he returned 40.9%. By 1962, his personal share was over $1 million. Buffett became a millionaire at 31. He'd predicted he'd be a millionaire by 30, so technically he was a year late. What a failure. In 1962, Buffett noticed Berkshire Hathaway, a struggling textile company, would spike whenever it closed a factory. He started buying shares at $7.60 each. By 1965, his partnerships controlled the company. The textile business never made money. He shut it down in 1985, but he used Berkshire to buy other businesses, insurance companies, See's Candies, newspapers. By 1969, Buffett was 39 and worth $25 million. He closed his partnership because he couldn't find good deals in the overheated market. He literally quit while ahead because he had standards. Instead, he focused on Berkshire. By 1986, at 56, he became a billionaire. Today, he's worth over $160 billion and still lives in the house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Lesson 1. Compound interest is your only friend. Buffett started investing at 11 and never stopped. He's 94 now. That's 83 years of compounding. He didn't become a billionaire until 56. Most of his wealth came after 60. This isn't about getting rich quick, it's about getting rich slowly and not screwing up. If you're 25 and start putting money away today, you'll have 40, 50, 60 years for it to grow. Stop trying to time the market or find meme stocks. Buy index funds, reinvest dividends, ignore the noise. Boring works. Boring gets rich. Lesson 2. Align your incentives or get wrecked. When Buffett started his partnerships, he only made money if investors made money. He'd eat 25% of losses. That's skin in the game. Misaligned incentives destroy everything. Look at 2008. Bankers got bonuses whether bets paid off or not. Buffett refused that game, and that's why people trusted him for decades. Lesson 3. Live below your means and invest the difference. Buffett made $12,000 a year and saved $174,000 by 1956. He lived on almost nothing and invested everything. When he was a millionaire, he bought a house for $31,500 and still lives there. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth is built. Cut the stuff that doesn't matter, invest the difference, repeat for decades. Warren Buffett isn't 100 times smarter than you. He had time, discipline, and willingness to do boring things for 80 years. He didn't chase trends or panic when markets crashed. He kept buying good businesses and held on. Most people won't do this. They'll get bored, panic, chase returns, spend money to impress people they don't like. Buffett started with nothing in a small Nebraska town. If he could turn $10 into $160 billion, you can at least turn your paycheck into something that compounds.